You are watching INBC World News. This is INBC World News. International news broadcasting content. INBC News. Breaking news. This is INBC World News Exclusive. Finland becomes the 31st member of NATO. INBC Exclusive Live. Anchor Brindesh chaturvedi for INBC World News.
I'm Brindesh from INBC World News India. You are watching INBC World News Exclusive. Finland becomes 31st member of NATO. We will show the news breaking from missiles ahead. Watching INBC World News Exclusive.
आप देख रहे हैं INBC वर्ल्ड न्यूज़। बेल्जियम में ब्रुसेल से ये जश्न की तैयारी, क्योंकि अब नाटो में शामिल हो गया फिनलैंड, यानी 31वां सदस्य, और रूस के लिए बहुत बड़ा खतरा। रूस और यूक्रेन की जंग के बीच ये नया फैसला हुआ मंगलवार को, जब नाटो में शामिल हुआ फिनलैंड और रूस की बढ़ गई टेंशन। व्लादिमीर पुतिन के लिए ये एक बहुत बड़ा झटका है कि उनके बॉर्डर पर अब नाटो अपने सैन्य को और टुकड़ियों को तैनात करेगा और रूस पर नाटो की नज़र हमेशा रहेगी। INBC वर्ल्ड न्यूज़ एक्सक्लूसिव के लिए ब्रिंदेश चतुर्वेदी, INBC वर्ल्ड न्यूज़ इंडिया। The NATO military alliance just got bigger. Finland has become its 31st member. It means NATO's border with Russia expands by 100 kilometers, and changes are expected along that frontiers. INBC World News Exclusive.
Border. Whether we see things like checkposts, watchtowers, fences, enhanced borders, more military patrols, more aerial overflight, whatever we're going to see develop in the coming months and years as both Finland and Russia respond to the changed nature of their own relationship. Finland's inclusion in the NATO alliance is a strategic setback for Vladimir Putin. You invaded Ukraine apparently over this fear of the expansion of NATO. Well, you've got the expansion of NATO on your doorstep.
Росії і Білорусі В ближайшее время членом Альянса станет
The best the Russian military can do is to hold on to its flailing war effort inside of Ukraine, whilst also taking note of the fact that there is a lot of NATO activity all along its border, all the way from the new member Finland in the north, down to existing members like Romania and Poland further south, nearer the Black Sea. This is an enormous amount of space that the Russian armed forces stretched in Ukraine are now going to have to remain watchful of around the build-up of NATO forces. It's clearly a very bad thing that a country like Finland, that countries that were previously neutral, are having to pick a very clear side in what is likely to be a generational standoff between the NATO alliance and Russia, if not something that becomes even more dangerous in years to come.
And with that, I can actually then hand over to you, Minister Haavisto, the formal invitation on behalf of all allies for the Republic of Finland to accede to the North Atlantic Treaty. So please. Thank you. And then at the same time, I can also invite you to deposit your documents of accession to the US government, here represented by Secretary Blinken.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General. Thank you, Secretary Blinken. Now when I've got this invitation, it's my great pleasure to deposit with the Secretary of State of the United States of America, Finland's instrument of accession to the North Atlantic Treaty. Please, Secretary Blinken.
Thank you very much. Well, with receipt of this instrument of accession, we can now declare that Finland is the 31st member of the North Atlantic Treaty. Congratulations.
NATO headquarters in Brussels. The flags of 30 members are about to be joined by another. On the 74th anniversary of the alliance's founding treaty, Finland's flag will be raised, ending decades of Cold War neutrality and, at a stroke, doubling the length of NATO's land border with Russia. Finland will avail of the Article 5 Mutual Defence Clause, which includes NATO's nuclear deterrent. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has radically changed policy and public opinion in Helsinki.
I think it's excellent news, and I think Finland has waited for it, and today it will be like the big day, so Finland will join the NATO.
I feel maybe a little bit conflicted about joining NATO because I'm not the biggest fan of NATO, but at the same time even less of a fan of Russia.
My father was in war with the Russians, so this is like a personal thing to me.
NATO says Russia has been steadily increasing its presence on its northwestern flank and into the Arctic.
President Putin is willing to use military force against neighbors, and that's exactly why we have strengthened NATO, our readiness, our presence in the eastern part of the alliance, and why NATO allies are investing more also in new modern capabilities.
At an EU-US energy summit, the US Secretary of State said Europe and America were cooperating to stabilize global energy markets and to prevent the circumvention of sanctions against Russia.
The stakes for our partnership could not be higher, for the transatlantic relationship, for Ukraine itself, indeed for people around the world who are bearing many of the consequences of this aggression.
The Kremlin warned Russia would take what it called tactical and strategic countermeasures. This morning, Defence Minister Sergei Shoigu said Finland's accession increased the risk of conflict. Turkey has held up Sweden's application, but there are expectations those issues will be resolved. Tony Connolly, RTE News, Brussels.
A historic moment of NATO's headquarters in Brussels. Finland's flag was raised. Marking its occasion as the 31st member of the world's biggest security alliance. Finland shares a 100 kilometers frontier with Russia. So its membership more than double NATO's land border with Russia.
Actually, please, Secretary Blinken.
Thank you very much.
Finland applied to join NATO last May after Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Accession, we can now declare that Finland is the 31st member.
Membership gives Finland protection under NATO's Article 5. This is an attack on one member is an attack on all.
Finland's membership is not targeted against anyone, nor does it change the foundations or objectives of Finland's foreign and security policy. Finland is a stable and predictable Nordic country that seeks peaceful resolution of disputes. The principles and values that are important to Finland will continue to guide our foreign policy also in the future.
INBC World News Exclusive. Breaking news. This is INBC News Worldwide. Anchor Brindesh Chaturvedi. This is INBC World News. Editor Brindesh Chaturvedi. You are watching INBC World News. Log on to inbcworldnews.business.site, inbcworldnews.simdrift.com and inbcnews.simdrift.com. This is INBC World News. You are watching INBC. This is INBC. You are watching INBC World News. INBC World News presents News Worldwide 24/7 News. Latest news at INBC. Creative news story, smooth concept. INBC News Worldwide. INBC Breaking News. Exclusive INBC World News. You are watching INBC.